Hey everybody, back again with some of this stuff from the Bob Lewis care package that I got last week. I'm really squeezing a lot of content out of this, but as I had mentioned before, I just wanted to focus in a bit more on some of the NBA stuff he sent, because in the first video I just kind of breezed through a lot of it, and some of it I didn't even show because it was still in the box. And y'all know that's not my style. I like to really focus in on individual cards and give you a good look at them. So now that I've had the time to kind of sort through everything and pick out some of the cooler inserts, just wanted to show some of those. So let's get started. So first here we have this really nice Alonzo Mourning insert. Really sweet. So again, now that it's out of the sleeve, now that I can really take my time with it, you can get a really nice look at it. Here's another really nice one, this Charles Barkley. It's called Intense. I think Broadcast is working on this set. I know he hasn't been on YouTube in a while, but he posts on Instagram a bit. I think he was posting some of these. So if he needs that one, I might send it to him, even though that's a really sweet card. Wouldn't mind keeping it. Here's another Barkley. Fleer Living Legends. I remember pulling some of these back in the day. Might actually pull this one back in the day. I think I might have had a Larry Bird like that. I have a Jordan like that, but I didn't pull it. I traded for it, and it's actually in terrible condition. Definitely got to upgrade my Jordan like that. Here's another sweet one. Hakeem the Dream. Power in the Key. And again, this is why I want to focus on these a bit more and really show them well. Just beautifully designed insert from back in the day. Here's a Reggie Miller Winning Edge die cut from UD3. Man, UD3 was a really cool product. For whatever reason, it didn't stick around very long. I think they only did it like 2 or 3 years. But it was cool in basketball and baseball. I think they might have done it in football too. Here, see a more kind of lackluster insert. This one's from 2000. So you see around this time they're already starting to get a little bit lazier, but still decent. Here's just a base parallel of this Penny Hardaway. Tops embossed. This is the gold. This is a second year Penny Hardaway. But again, as I always say, this is just like a 50-cent card or a quarter card, but just absolutely beautiful. Love this type of stuff. Here's another Penny Hardaway. All rookie insert. Not crazy design or anything, but pretty cool shot. They always had great designs on the back as well. Here's my guy, Mitch Richmond. I'll keep saying it. He was one of the most underrated scorers of that era. Topps 40 from Topps Chrome. Here's another one of those top 40s, but this one's a refractor. Anthony Mason. So you see the difference on those. This one's pretty cool here. This Dennis Rodman Jam City. Kind of has a comic book look to it. Here's a nice KG from SP Authentic. This one has like, I don't know, like some kind of metallic feel to it or something. Not quite sure what they were going for with that. There's another one from SP Authentic First Class. Seems like Upper Deck was using a lot of this like foil technology at this time. Kind of similar looking on those. So again, those were from like the early 2000s. Around that time, they were starting to go away from like the really cool mid-90s stuff. Here's a Skybox Dominion. Don't remember that product much. I think that was only around for like a year or two. But there was a ton of cool KGs in here. Here's just some base, but some absolutely beautiful base. EX 2001. And then Flair Showcase from 97, 98. Just amazing stuff. Wish we still had this kind of stuff. Here's another Flair Showcase. Again, this is just considered like, I guess, kind of a base card. This is the Row 1 Horace Grant. So not super expensive, but looks like super high-end stuff. These are cool here. These Fleer Metal. Always talk about how I like Fleer Metal. It's really cool colors on those. Pretty sure I have a few of these rookie roll calls. But there's a different version here. It's the platinum version. So you see the difference on those. Showed this one in the previous video, but again, here's a much better look at it. Tim Thomas Kickstart. Tremendous shine on that one. I think he was a local guy. He was like out of Patterson, New Jersey, something like that. Another pretty cool one there, Chris Mullin, clear cut. Another kind of underrated scorer from that time. Here's a Tom Gugliotta with Jordan guarding him. I think because Jordan was on that card, that made this card a little bit more popular back in the day. It's like a $2 or $3 card, which was much more than you'd normally pay for a Gugliotta card. But again, just the presence of Jordan on there made it more interesting. Here's a nice Vin Baker Collector's Choice Gold. Shout out to Modern Vintage Collector. He's going to be doing like a special video on Vin Baker. Can't wait to see that. He was kind of an interesting guy. Like, he came out of the gate strong his first few years and kind of faded away, got out of shape. I think he had some issues with like anxiety or something like that. So again, looking forward to that video that Modern Vintage Collector is going to do, because curious to find out what really happened to Vin Baker. Here's another former Milwaukee Buck, Ray Allen, among other teams. Several teams. I think that's kind of why like he never got a whole lot of hobby love, because I think he just played for too many teams, but without question one of the best shooters I ever saw. And here's his Flair Showcase base from 97-98. But again, super underrated. Again, here's another one that I showed in the previous video, but here's a better look at it with no sleeve. Very sweet gold label Kobe. Here's some more Kobe's. These are from SP Authentic. Premier Powers, I guess that says. He's got the ball blocking the name of the insert there, but that's pretty sweet. There's this one, First Class. So again, a lot of the upper deck stuff during this era just had like that foil shine to it. Here's a few more. Got a nice Allen Iverson. As I've said, he was definitely a favorite of that era. I feel like there was like no in between with him. Like, some people hated the way he played, some people loved the way he played. But for those of us that grew up like on street ball, like, it was just really cool to see a guy with that style making it in the NBA. We didn't really mind that he'd occasionally get himself in some trouble with the coaching staff and with the league. Another pretty nice AI. It's just a Vince Carter base, but really like that. I remember having this card back in the day. Didn't pull it because that's SP Authentic. I couldn't really afford SP Authentic back then, but a friend of mine bought a pack of those and he pulled this card and traded it to me. So really cool to have that back in the collection now. Vince Carter, another favorite from that era. So here's some more VC, Instant Impact. And again, I gotta show some of the backs on some of these. There he is with that old Raptors uniform. Here's Carter and T-Mac. For those that don't know, they're related. They're cousins. Played together for a few years in Toronto. Then T-Mac left as a free agent to the Magic. And here's just a run of refractors that I'll go through. And I'll start to wrap this up. There's a nice Stephon Marbury. Eddie Jones on Joe Smith. Really sweet Bill Walton there. I think I mentioned it before, but I used to buy a lot of these Top Stars packs because the odds of pulling refractors from there were better than they were for any of the other stuff at that time. But I bought a ton of packs of this and still never pulled a refractor from it. So a really nice one there. And how about this one? This one's spectacular here. This Mario Elie. That's a silver refractor from 96-97 Finest. I usually don't peel these, but might have to peel that one. The shine is just too nice on that one. But yeah, Mario Elliott, one of the many Rockets that hit big shots against the Knicks during that time. Here's a Horace Grant. I think that's from 95-96. George Mirasan. How many of you remember George Mirasan? He was 7'7", so that's why he wore number 77. It was kind of surreal watching him play. Like, he could barely get up and down the court. If you have a chance, check up some highlights of him on YouTube. Like, he was just like a big, awkward guy. Had really no skill at all. A few more here, then we'll be done. Here's a really nice Stadium Club Matrix of Jamal Mashburn. Always liked this Matrix stuff. They did it in baseball too, but this basketball one looks like it has way more shine than the baseball ones did. There he is, surrounded by a couple of Knicks. But yeah, not sure if this was an insert or just like a parallel, but very sweet. And this one's not really technically a refractor, but nice shiny insert of Richard Hamilton. Not numbered on that one. Around this time is when you really start checking for the number stuff. That's when they started doing it a lot. Here's a Topps Chrome Destiny refractor of Marcus Camby. Again, that old dinosaur uniform for the Raptors. And there was a bit of like modern stuff in the stack too. This is one of the nicer ones here. This Russell Westbrook. Guess that's a purple optic. So very nice. I'm going to end this with that one there. But believe it or not, I think I'm going to squeeze one more video out of this stuff because I have a little stack of Knicks that I want to get to. So I'll be showing that real soon.